Hello, my dear friends. Today, I want to tell you a story that may hold the answer to many of your questions. So please don't forget to subscribe and like. Now let's dive into today's exciting story. Light and Darkness. The Secret of Creation. Before the world was formed, before light and darkness, there was something that few people know about. Today, I want to share with you a story that began at the dawn of time. A story that might change everything for you. The Last Warrior. The Fall of Light. An ancient voice echoes through the abyss of time. The world is still in its infancy. God created existence from 4 primordial elements: water, earth, fire, and air, the foundations upon which all creation stands. Among them, fire was the most powerful, a blazing force that brought light but also had the power to destroy. From this fire, the devil was born, the first and most powerful being, a creation to whom God granted free will. But with power came pride. When humanity was shaped from clay and God breathed his spirit into them, the devil saw it as an insult. He, a being of fire, how could he bow before a creature made of mere dust? With a voice that resonated across existence, the devil declared, "I am made of fire, and he is made of clay. How can I bow before something lesser?" God warned him that his arrogance would lead to his downfall, but the devil refused to submit. He swore to mislead humanity until the end of time. And so God granted him the chance. But against his darkness, a light was born. The human soul, a fragment of the divine, the only weapon capable of defeating the devil. The devil knew this. From the very beginning, he sought to extinguish that light. The age of forgetting. Centuries passed. Generations of humans came and went, and the truth was forgotten. The devil, through his deceptions, led humanity into darkness. He hid the truth, erased sacred knowledge, and silenced the wise. He built a world where people would be consumed by their daily struggles, chasing power, wealth, and pleasure, never realizing the strength hidden within them. But the truth can never be buried forever. The birth of a warrior. In the shadows, a child was born, one who would change the fate of the world. From a young age, he was different. There was a light in his eyes that others could not comprehend. He asked questions no one could answer. Why are we here? Why is the truth hidden from us? Why do I feel something calling from within? He had nightmares of a world drowning in darkness, a force waiting in the abyss, and a light shackled in chains. And one day he found his answer. In the depths of an abandoned library, among the crumbling pages of ancient texts, he uncovered the truth. He was the last warrior. The only one who could awaken the truth. The only one who could defeat the devil and imprison him away. The forgotten legacy. The moon stood high, casting a cold glow over the brittle pages of the book. The warrior's hands trembled. The ancient words seemed to speak directly to his soul. You are the last hope. The devil has hidden the truth, but one day a child of the earth will rekindle the light. One who will awaken, reclaim the lost knowledge, and shatter the chains of darkness. One is enough. Just one person. His heart pounded. Was this book speaking of him? A whisper echoed within. The time has come to awaken. He knew then that this was no mere legend. A forgotten truth lay hidden within these words. A power lost for centuries waiting to be unleashed. But where should he begin? The search for truth. The warrior realized he had to seek the answers. To find the truth, he had to walk through the shadows. He needed to find those who still carried the knowledge. those who had remained silent out of fear of the devil. His journey began. He passed through abandoned temples, hidden caves deep within the mountains, and deserts where ancient secrets whispered in the winds. Every clue he found brought him one step closer to the truth. During one of his travels, he encountered an old man living in solitude. The people called him mad, but the warrior saw the truth in his eyes. When he asked about the last warrior, the old man simply smiled. "I have been waiting for you." Awakening the inner power. The old man took him to a world hidden from the eyes of the world. A light in the heart of darkness, a window to another world. Feel this light. This is what the devil has kept from you. The warrior closed his eyes, and for the first time, something within him awakened. He realized that his soul, a fragment of divine light, was the weapon he needed to defeat the devil. But this power was raw, like a spark that needed to become an inferno. It required time and training, confronting the darkness. The devil sensed his awakening. Shadows followed him at night. Whispers echoed in his mind. "You cannot win. I have ruled this world for millennia. You are just a mere human." But the warrior knew it was just another lie. He had learned that the devil's greatest weapon was fear. And now he was no longer afraid. The final battle. On the night of battle, the sky was darker than ever. The land was silent, as if existence itself held its breath. The devil appeared, a void of absolute darkness burning with rage. "You cannot destroy me. I am part of this world. If I perish, everything will fall apart." But the warrior simply smiled. "I have not come to destroy you. I have come to reveal the truth." And in that moment, the true light of humanity ignited. A light not meant for war, not for destruction, but for illumination. In an instant, all the illusions the devil had woven for centuries crumbled. Humanity saw the truth. They remembered who they were, what power they had, and what had been stolen from them. And in that moment, the devil was defeated, forever imprisoned. His downfall was not through violence, not by weapons, but by the one thing he feared the most: humanity's awareness. The new dawn. With the darkness vanquished, light spread across existence. Humanity awakened. After thousands of years, the world was finally free. The devil faded into the abyss, condemned to an eternal prison. And the warrior, the last warrior, stood among the people, not as a hero, but as a reminder of what had always been within them. From that day on, no power could ever hide the truth again, for the light would forever shine in the hearts of humanity. The end. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more stories and leave us your feedback. Stay tuned for the next story.